Hello and welcome to the fourth session of Easy Flow Yoga for Cyclists and Runners, or Paul's Awkward Yoga for Cyclists and Runners. We are going to start today in a child's pose, and today's session is going to be pretty core heavy. We're going to be working on our core strength. So working on. Bring your knees pretty wide on the mat, bring your big toes together, and sit your butt back towards your heels. That's step one of child. Then you have a couple of options. Extend your hands as you can. If this is just not comfortable for your shoulders or anything else, you can always bring your elbows down. You can also have a block for your forehead. So when we're doing our inhales, we're going to inhale, come up a little, exhale, and try to lengthen our back. And by lengthening, I mean almost trying to straighten it. So you're going to feel this in your upper hamstrings into your glutes. You'll feel this in your shoulders. So our flow, we're going to have several different small flows that you'll be able to adapt as you need to. The first one will be doing downward dogs into cobras. And you can always do puppy poses into sphinxes. You can even do kind of a dolphin variation to that, and I'll show you all of these as we get started. All right, so first of all, from here we're going to come into a downward dog. So I'm going to take my hands, I'm going to curl my toes under, and I'm going to bring myself into a downward dog. Step back a little bit. So downward dog, the goal of this pose is to feel like you are an upside down V from your hips to your hands and from your hips to your heels. So the breath work will be inhale, bring down one heel on the exhale. Inhale up, bring down the other heel on the next exhale. Inhale, and then bring them down. All right, so if this is too much, you can be in a puppy pose, which is simply the same thing but having your knees on the ground and then extending your hands. All right, so either way, you can do this. So if you're in puppy pose, your next move will then be to roll forward into a sphinx with your elbows underneath you, or try a cobra. So either way, you'll start here in puppy, roll forward to cobra. All right, so what we're going to do if you're in downward dog is the same thing. Downward dog, inhale, roll to a cobra. And then inhale, curl your toes under, back to a downward dog on the exhale. Inhale, roll forward to a cobra. It is really warm in my little garage studio. So I'm kind of like doing hot yoga, but it's in my garage. Inhale, curl your toes under, roll back up. We'll do that one more time. Inhale and roll forward into a cobra or a sphinx, depending on what you can manage. It totally doesn't matter. Cobras can be a little bit hard on your arms and shoulders, so if you want to come down into the sphinx, you can do that. So in sphinx, you're going to be down here on your elbows and just roll back and just roll forward. And that's all we're trying to do, is just get your hips moving. All right, so now in downward dog or wherever you are, you're going to look at the front of the mat, inhale, And then as you exhale, walk your feet forward into a forward fold. Inhale into a half lift, forward fold, and then all the way up and all the way back down into a half lift, forward fold, and all the way up. I'm not sure why I just started whispering. Bring your hands down to heart center. All right, so our first floor flow will be pretty traditional. It's part of a power yoga or a flow yoga, hatha yoga kind of class. We're just going to repeat it a few times. Do the first one slow, like we typically do. 2 and 3, a little more speed. All right, so we're going to inhale. We're going to step back into a warrior 2. So we're going to step back with your right foot. Am I still on here? Whoa. My heels are pretty lined up. My front knee is over my front heel. Good. So now, when you're in Warrior 2, your goal is to open on the inhale, exhale, and rotate your shoulders so that your hips start to rotate. If this is too much for your shoulders, you can always have your hands at your waist or your hands at your shoulder height. Open. Good. So you're looking out over your left hand. Good. Now we're going to inhale. We're going to come into reverse warrior. So I'm taking my hands, dropping my right hand down, lifting my left hand up. Your right hand can stay on your right hip. It can wrap around you in the small of your back. Okay, so inhale and then up. Exhale, lean back so that you're trying to bring your right shoulder toward your right knee. You're not actually going to do that because otherwise I think you would snap in half. Inhale and back. So you're feeling this weight on your back foot. Now we're going to do the fun part. We're going to cartwheel your hand down. We're going to come into a side angle. Okay, so you've got two options here. An extended side angle is bringing your elbow or your forearm onto your thigh and reaching your hand out and forward. The idea of extended side angle is that you have a relatively straight line from your hand to your back foot. That's what it should feel like. It doesn't matter what it looks like, that's what it feels like. Okay, a full side angle is just like triangle, except your front knee is bent. We are going to do extended side angles for this flow. Okay, so the inhale is to drop your right arm or shoulder, and the exhale is to rotate and open up, just like we were doing with triangle. Inhale and exhale and rotate and open. All right, good. Now I'm going to rotate all the way over and up and rotate my feet and come into a warrior 2 on this side. Good. We'll do one more breath. Good. And inhale, lift up your right hand, bring your left back. There you go. Inhale, back. Good. All right, now we're going to do the rotation into the extended side angle. Right forearm onto your right thigh. Good. Now we're going to roll our arms up, roll your feet forward. I'm just moving because I have two different mats so that I can go forward and backwards for the camera. You don't need to do that. You can just with your feet. Don't fall over. Good. Do one more. This is our flow, so we're going to move a little bit faster. I started slowly. Inhale, back up to reverse warrior. Good. Now we're going to come all the way over into the side angle. That's just kind of fun. You get to move your arms in kind of the flow. Okay, here we're going to come up, rotate your feet into warrior two. Good. Come into reverse warrior. And come on down into side angle. Good. All right, we'll do that one more time. Hands up, come into warrior two, left foot forward. Good. Reverse warrior. Good. And then rotate down, extended side angle. Good. Rotate all the way up into warrior two. Right foot forward. Inhale and exhale into reverse warrior. Good. Rotate down into extended side angle. Good. Now we're going to roll up, bring your feet together, and stand back up. All right. In our pose, our mountain pose, we have a couple of options here. We're going to do kind of the sun salutation flow to get down into a downward dog and then kick into our lizard flow. However, you can also just come down into the lizard, low lunge to the lizard. All right, so here we go. We're going to inhale, arms up, come on down into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Bring your hands down to your mat. Bring your feet back into a plank, and then push back to a downward dog. Okay, so you can meet us here, or you can meet us in the low lunge. So we're going to inhale, bring my left foot forward, and then drop my back knee. All right, so here is the core work that we'll do with lizard. It's also a lot of hip opening work. So with lizard, you might use a block. You might use your knuckles. Be on your fingertips. So lizard is trying to be on the inside of your knees with both hands. So my left elbow is inside of my left knee. I'm feeling like I can move this enough to come all the way down today. So the inhale is going to be to bring my hips back. The exhale is to rotate forward. Okay, we'll do that a couple times. And then we'll do one more move with this. And then that's going to become the flow. So it'll be inhale, bring your hips back, and then my left hand can come on. I'm going to flip around on the other mat. My left hand can come up to my knee, or it can come up overhead, okay, in the lizard twist. So it's going to be inhale, and then bring my arm up and twist. And then now I'm bringing my hips back, bringing my torso up and over. So I'm having to use my torso to twist this time. Good. Inhale, and then come back and rotate. Good. Now this is all we're going to do with this. And bring your left hand down, bring your left foot back into a downward dog. And I'm going to move my mat again. And I'm going to inhale, bring my right foot forward, drop my left knee. And now I'm going to come into lizard on this side. Okay, so hands, knuckles on a block or a book, whichever you have. Inhale, bring your hips back. Exhale, roll your hips forward. So you'll feel these in the front of your left hip, whatever knee is back, you'll feel it in the front of that. And whatever foot is forward, you'll feel it in the hamstrings, the back of your thigh. Good. All right, now we're going to bring my right hand up to my right knee. Bring my hips back. Again, you can bring your arm up into the air or just rotate with your shoulders. And rotate. Good. All right, so we got this. Okay, we're going to do this one more time. We're going to inhale, bring our hands down, curl your left foot, and bring it back into a downward dog. If this is too much, you can always be in puppy pose and just do the same thing. You're just bringing your foot forward. All right? So do whatever you can do. All right, so we're going to inhale, and on the exhale, bring my left foot forward, hands down. Inhale, bring my hips back. Exhale, bring them forward. Inhale, bring my hips back, left hand on the knee. And I'm not going to switch sides this time. You'll have to look at the back of my head. Hopefully my hair is perfectly combed, which it never is. Inhale, bring my hand back down, curl my right toe under, come in downward dog. Good, we're going to inhale, and on the exhale, bring my right foot forward, drop your left knee, and we're in lizard on this side. Exhale forward, inhale back, inhale, and exhale. Good. You're going to inhale up, hips back, right hand up, and rotate into lizard twist. Good. I'm going to curl my back toe underneath, come back into downward dog. But then I'm just going to bring my knees down, bring them forward, and I'm going to roll onto my back in bridge pose. Let's go this way. And in bridge pose, I'm going to kind of be in the middle of my mats here. This is not really much of a flow, but we're again working on building the strength of our core, particularly on our back side of our body, in our hamstrings and in our glutes, and in the long muscles that go along your spine, the rectus spinatus, your spinal erector muscles. All right, so bring your heels as close to your butt as you can. Hands are at your side, palms down. You're going to inhale, bring your hips up as high as they will go. Now we're just going to hold this. So the goal here is to squeeze your glutes. That is the primary mover here. And just keep driving your hips up. You can inhale and drop them a little bit, or just keep squeezing, and then we're going to come on down. If that is hard to hold your glutes and bring yourself up, that's a good sign that this is an exercise or a yoga position that you should probably do more of, because it's a really solid exercise to strengthen your glute muscles, which we tend to not have as strong as our quads. So we're going to inhale, come back up. If this is easy for you, then you can do this one-legged. You can hold this for longer. You want to push your hips up because A, that's going to help you squeeze your glutes, but B, it's also going to really work the muscles in the small of your back. And push up. You can bring your hands underneath you and hold them in a bind. And then come on down. We'll do this one more time. And the last one, push up. Again, I'm going to come into a bind, kind of roll my shoulders underneath, grab my hands underneath my back, and just push up. Inhale, just loosen a little bit if you want. Exhale, push. And then come on down. Last thing that we will do is simply come up with our feet up into the air. Have your hands on the side, and we're going to simply roll our knees back and forth. Inhale, and then exhale, drop them over to the left as far as you feel comfortable, keeping your knees straight up and down, but not letting them touch the ground. Inhale, and then roll them back over to the other side. Ooh, nice little back pop. Inhale up. Exhale, rotate over to one side. Inhale up. Exhale to the other side. We'll do this once more on each side. And back over. And back over. Good. And then bring your feet back down. Roll yourself up into the seated position, into easy pose. And in easy pose, we are going to find our breath into our belly. Good. We're going to inhale, have our hands by your side. Bring your arms up overhead and reach. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, and the idea is to just kind of scoop up the good energy that you've just created. And then bring it back into yourself so that you can share it with others. Namaste. Thank you for joining us in the 4 courses of this Easy Flow Yoga, or Paul's Awkward Easy Flow Yoga. If you have questions, please contact me, Paul W. at simpleendurancecoaching.com. Go to the website, hook up a contact there, and I'd be glad to talk. Go to the website and look at our coaching options, the strength training options and the yoga options that we have, both in courses and in videos that you can come and check out and use to build your durability and performance as a cyclist and a runner. Thanks again for joining us. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.